first things that Mitchell Kaplan tried to prepare me for was your coming. And I didn't really fully realize until this last month what a phenom you are. And I kept thinking of Margaret Mitchell, the author of Gone with the Wind, who said famously that it was a full-time job just being the author of Gone with the Wind, and that it left her no time to write anything else. And I'm thinking a similar thing could probably be said, that it must be a full-time job just being Isabel Allende, and yet you've written 19 books. And averaging, I did the math, one every 18 months or so.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Every 18 months, I hadn't.
You didn't do the math, I did, because I've only got 3 books. So I don't know how you do it, and I'm not simply talking about time, I'm talking about that private space that we need to create that's so different from this.
Yeah. You know, once I heard a writer say, a male writer, say that in order to be a novelist, you need a very good wife. I have a very good wife. He's called Willie Gordon, and he really makes my life easy. And I have 2 other people that help me. My daughter-in-law, Lori, who is sitting there, and she runs my life, my foundation, and the family. And my assistant, Juliet, who is like a shield that sort of protects me. But the thing is that I have so many stories that I don't have time to tell them. So if I give myself a few months every year, and I do that every year at the beginning of the year, I always have 1,000 stories to tell. I'm never running out of ideas.
Well, I have a question for you about January 8th, but first you should explain the significance of that before I ask the question.
Well, I start all my books on January 8th because people think that it's just superstition. It is, partly, but it's also discipline. If I have a date in which I start, all my life is prepared for that date. Can you imagine what January 7th looks like in my house? I'm a wreck. But starting January 8th, no one calls me, there are no invitations, I don't go anywhere, and I lock myself in a little house in the back of the garden, which is supposed to be the bull house. And there, I don't have email, I don't have fax, I don't have telephone, I'm just alone with my dictionaries and the research that I've done. So it's wonderful, just wonderful. But let me tell you, that I wrote The House of the Spirits. I had a day job, 12 hours a day, 2 jobs. And then I would come home and work in a little portable typewriter in the kitchen. It was the time when you had to put paper inside a typewriter, you know what that is, and then type, and if you made a mistake, there was something called Typex, then paint, that you would paint the word. And to give you an example, there are 3 copies, you had to correct the copies too. The 3rd copy you could hardly see because you couldn't even read it. And to give you an example, when I wrote The House of the Spirits, the villain was called Count the Villiers. And my mother, when she read the manuscript, said, "Why did you give this Count the villain your father's name?" And I didn't know my father, but I didn't know that my father's 2nd name was Villiers. So my mother said, "You have to take that out." Yeah, very easy. You have to go page by page. First of all, find a name that has the same number of letters. Go with Typex, erase the space. Put it back in one page by page. It took like a month. Just so life is very easy today. Anyone can write a novel.
So, do the novels take a year?